Club, guys. We are here. I'm Nini,
I'm D.
And I'm Yan.
and today we are going to be talking about the August book of the month titled A Spell for Trouble by Esme Addison. I'm going to read the synopsis, not the whole thing, because, I mean, this is a spoiler podcast. We going to be
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah,
spoilers, but I ain't going to read the whole thing. But
right.
they really ridiculous. They're really ridiculous for. I
This is
just
going to be a recurring
I
thing.
don't get it. Why are y'all telling the whole? Who likes to be? There are people who like to be spoiled. I have friends
There
who like
are
to be
people.
spoiled,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
but I'm not one of those girls. So, anywho,
Right. You can. Is that a happy medium? I'm sorry.
no, literally.
It got to be.
So, I'm gonna read the first paragraph, which I think is the cut off that needs to be the synopsis if you are someone who's thinking about reading the book. Okay. All right. Here it is. Aleksandra Daniels has set foot in the quiet seaside town of Bellamy Bay, North Carolina, and hasn't, I'm sorry, Aleksandra Daniels hasn't set foot in the quiet seaside town of Bellamy Bay, North Carolina, in over 20 years. Ever since her mother's tragic death, her father has mysteriously forbidden her from visiting her aunt and cousins. But on a whim, Alex accepts an invitation to visit her estranged relatives and to help them in their family business, an herbal apothecary known for its remarkably potent teas, salves, and folk remedies. I mean, I guess they could have gave more. I'll read the last paragraph because the middle paragraph is really what gave it away. Alex's investigations unearths stories that some have gone to desperate lengths to conceal. I guess they don't know she in the whatever. Forbidden affairs, family rivalries, and the truth about Alex's own ancestry. And when the case turns deadly, Alex learns that not only are these secrets worth hiding, but they may even be worth killing for. Period. Now, the middle one, I mean, I guess we can say it since, we read the book. If we're here, we read it,
Yeah,
right? Spoiler
yeah.
alert.
Right.
Spoilers start now. So if the
hmm
first 1 minute of this video,
Right.
that was spoiler free. Moving forward, spoilers. This says Bellamy Bay doesn't like trouble, but this is a town that harbors dark secrets. Alex discovers that her own family is at the center of a salacious town gossip and that they are rumored to be magical healers descended from mermaids. She brushes this off as nonsense until a local is poisoned and her aunt Lydia is arrested for the crime. Aunt Alex is certain Lydia is being framed, and she resolves to find out why. Then it says Alex's investigation under
And
stories
and that's
about
why.
some.
See,
Yeah. So altogether, you really could just read that.
Don't have to. You really could have just read the last chapter after that.
look. Okay.
We know everything else.
No, literally. Okay, guys. So how did we feel about a spell for trouble? How we feel, guys?
I feel like.
Beautiful gowns.
I feel like. I feel like it was a cheap ending.
I
I
feel like it
feel
was a cheap
like.
book.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't. Not engaged.
Right.
But at the same time, I just feel like there was certain things that were underdeveloped and
Absolutely.
like certain things that were rushed, certain things that were like assumed.
Yeah.
And then that ending just set it off wrong.
Yes.
Because there was a couple of times I felt like the ending would have been predictable, but it would have been, would have been
Good.
satisfactory enough.
Yeah.
But that ending,
It just gave cartoon endings for me.
Yes.
it did.
Yes.
Did I say that to one of y'all?
It gave Scooby Doo.
Did I
No.
send it to you?
Uh-huh.
It was definitely no. I did tell you. I said I'm waiting on this cartoon ending.
Oh, did you
This
say that
cartoon
to me?
reveal. Yeah,
Okay.
Well,
but
that's
that
what
was
it
before I found out
gave.
who it was. But it wasn't the cartoon reveal I thought it was. This cartoon reveal was Looney Tune. The
Yeah.
Yes.
cartoon reveal I thought it
Yes.
was going to be more so. I would say more so. Well, Scooby Doo's not good either to say,
That's what I'm
but
saying. I felt it was Scooby Doo. It was giving definitely. You're the monster. Oh no, you're the monster.
That's exactly what it was. There's no exaggerations
It was
there.
ridiculous.
It was definitely ridiculous. I was like, okay,
I was like
go ahead.
laughing, just like,
No,
I knew it was
literally.
I knew it was gonna be stupid. I knew it was gonna be stupid. I was just waiting for it.
Because okay, let's
Never.
just get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into
Okay,
it.
okay, okay.
So again, the book is about this girl named Alex. She goes to North Carolina, Bellamy Bay, North Carolina, to visit her family. I did not catch that her dad was keeping her from them all this
Oh, really?
time. Like I knew that she said
Yeah.
like he kind of discouraged it, but I didn't know like as an adult that he was still on some like don't go over there,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Because it's still kind of unclear the way that they said that she hadn't been around in 20 years and this is and that, but then they're like it was the daddy who kept her from them, but then it's like, oh, but it was the mom who kept the. What is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Right, right.
Who is it? What is
What
it?
it
Who
is
is
was
it?
what it is was that man wouldn't. That's what it
The
is.
daddy?
Yes.
Well, no, it probably what it really was. It probably was the mama's wishes and he kept it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That's probably what happened.
Well, they said that. Well,
Yeah,
it could
that's
have
what they.
been misconstrued, but what they said was that the dad didn't like magic.
Right, but then they came back later and was like, actually, it wasn't the daddy at all. It was just the mama. They just used that
They
as
didn't say it
excuse.
wasn't the daddy at all. They just said that she had ethical problems with it.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't
They
say it wasn't the
said. They
daddy at all.
said.
They said he was a good man. They didn't say that he didn't wasn't still like not liking magic.
Right, but they said the
It's,
reason why that she wasn't coming over anymore was the mom. The mom wanted her not to be there, not the dad. Like that was her wishes before she died.
I guess it gave
yeah,
she met that man and he had problems with it, and then she had ethical problems with it. That's
So
what
they
I thought.
mutually decided to not have her there. You think?
It gave to me. It felt like the dad swayed her because not swayed her, but she wanted to like she loved him so much that she just went along with what he thought initially, and then she had like started to believe because of like his whole police officer thing that she was that doing magic was an ethical problem.
See, I didn't get that.
I didn't get that either. I got that at the beginning. It definitely was posed onto him the first time that they introduced it.
Mm-hmm.
But then they came back around and then they switched it to the mom. From what I remember, they made it seem like the mom swayed him more so than he swayed her.
Mm-hmm.
Not well, maybe not swayed,
Yeah.
but it seemed like it was the mom's hang up first
Yeah.
after they came back to it because we were introduced to it by Alex saying like kind of blaming her dad for stopping it. I mean, for stopping her from going over there or his hang up. And so when we got there, she was kind of like, why my dad didn't want me to come over here? And so from her perspective, it was like, oh, it was all the dad. Why, like you trying to figure out what his problem was with his wife's people. And then whenever they started to talk about it, especially whenever they were talking about Camilla and how she had her hangups and how Dylan had his hangups, it was like, oh yeah,
Jack.
she was one of them who
Wait, Dylan had
no,
the same one?
Dylan.
Okay.
Dylan didn't practice magic
Oh, yeah,
like that. And so
And
like in those
it's
conversations it seemed like that's whenever I feel like they were saying more so that mom was more convicted by it. Not to say the dad didn't like it cuz he was an officer, he was a detective. So he probably had his own convictions, but the way that the parent like Lydia and the her family posted, it seemed like mom was really convicted in her own right.
yeah. Because then again, you find out because they did say like you said, like Camilla and like Dylan. They said that the mom came up with like how she felt about it like a long time ago, and then like she had been stopped using her magic, and then somebody killed her. So somebody magical killed her.
But I
So it's
thought
like,
that
and
they
then they say
said
that
that she
she
stopped
found
using it.
something. She found something. Something happened for her to feel that way, like in the magical realm. And I'm assuming it has something to do with her dad. That's
Yeah.
why I don't
What
feel
you
like it was the
saying?
daddy's fault. But I'm sure he did. Like they said, that him not liking
I'm
it.
sure he reinforced it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I don't think he liked. I
Mhm.
mean, clearly they said that he didn't like it either.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of easy for him to be like, get back in
Yeah,
the
let's go.
house.
I was like, oh, we on the same page, period. she ain't having no she ain't having no powers either.
Right. But I don't know.
What's really crazy is that she's the one, like, out of her family, she's the one who's like, who was like very convicted about it, but she was the one who had all this. She was the most powerful one that we had
Right.
seen in years and years, and she stopped her. It's like she stopped using her own powers on her own.
Giving Halloween down.
It is.
It's
It is giving Halloween
giving. It's
Town.
giving. Yeah, it's definitely giving chosen
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Like,
Hmm.
of course, of course.
And I like a good chosen one. I'm not
I
gonna lie, I
do
like a good
too, but
chosen
I
one.
just feel like it just wasn't giving.
It didn't. It
Not
it
that
wasn't
one,
giving. It
not
didn't
this
work.
one.
Uh-uh.
Again, because it's underdeveloped. Like, I really wish if she was a chosen one, we would have seen something from her or
Yeah.
heard better stories about her magic, like her power.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
You
then it
talking
would be like,
about the
ooh, she was that
mom?
girl. Mhm.
Yeah. I would have liked to explore that a little bit more. I would have, because
Yeah,
it would have made me
like
feel
Lydia.
better about Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lydia
Yeah.
could have said some
Definitely.
stories, like how they ended it. Like, ooh, she was shackled.
Uh,
Am I supposed
okay,
to read?
why you, I don't care, cuz I got 10 minutes left.
It don't.
And I don't care about your mama.
Dang.
It don't.
I don't. Like, it was a cute to know that, oh, I mean, obviously she's a water, like, she's a mermaid. Her power is water, so it's already strange that she was drowned. But for you to be like, oh, intrigue at the end, like, that's supposed to hold me?
Like that.
Whenever
It was
you could
already
have
a
developed
given.
my care for her earlier, like, you could have had me be like, oh, what really happened to the mama earlier?
Right.
Nobody really cared earlier. You didn't make me care about the mom earlier. Now you're at the end talking about some, ooh, tune in next time. I don't care, baby,
No, and I won't.
about that.
I won't.
I said, you think I'm gonna read this next book?
They have a next one? They don't have a
Yeah. They have a
sequel.
sequel.
Yeah,
Oh, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. She got a
and I
sequel.
might, but I didn't.
If I'm
It's
bored.
like
This one
again.
didn't give
It
me.
was right. If I'm bored, but like it was like maybe two plot points amongst all these like random things they just like threw at you in this whole book that intrigued me and like made me want to like find out to see what happens at the end, even though I knew what was going to happen at the end
Mm-hmm.
because it was also predictable. But I was like, maybe, hopefully, maybe she'll throw me a curveball.
Mm-hmm.
She did, but not the one I wanted. Everything else was very predictable,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Show,
Unfortunately.
show,
It sounded like we
show.
hated the
My
book, but I didn't
predictable.
hate the book. I didn't hate the book.
No, I didn't
I
hate it
was
either. It was.
I
because let me tell you
disliked this
something.
a
Go
lot.
ahead.
I have put down a book this year. Okay? That was a
Me
hate.
too.
Yeah,
That was a hate. I finished this one. I did
Okay.
not hate it. It just, first of all, I feel like I low key feel like I was blackfished.
yes, yes,
So,
I
Like,
was
definitely
but it's
too.
not her
blackfish, and
fault.
that,
It's not her fault. It's my fault. That's my fault.
Eh,
sure, but it's like it did take it down a
no black
couple of
people.
notches whenever.
I found the book because I specifically looked up um cozy mysteries by black authors. And she was like listed on like a thing. And you know, that doesn't guarantee that these are gonna be
Right.
black characters. However, every other story on there had like visibly black characters on the cover. And I
Hmm.
was like, I should have went with the ones where they had black characters on the cover. And it's like it's not that I don't like reading books like about other races. That's not what it is. But I do love reading books
Right.
about black people. And it being like a black author on this list of like Black authors and cozy mysteries that you should read. I thought at least it was gonna be somebody black in it, some main a main black character in this book at all.
Right.
But no, the only black character was like the barista that
Yeah.
she like.
And then I got a bone to pick with that
Uh
too.
huh.
Yikes. Okay, well, let's get into the character analysis. Um, let's start with Alex. We're Alex, obviously, the main character.
All right.
I'm gonna start. Alex.
Good. What?
I feel like Alex is. She's not a dislikable character,
Um.
but she worked my nerves most of the book because it was just giving like. It was giving. Will you ever learn? Like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally screamed at Alex a few times, and not because she's like an awful person and made like 100 horrible decisions, but hearing her inner monologue, or like from the third person,
Mm.
I was like, "Are you present at all?"
At all.
I'm gonna let you keep going because I got a couple things. I'm so glad you said that because I was drawing a blank on Alex, but now I know what I'm about to say.
I
LOL.
just feel like she was just like. I liked Alex at first, but she's just so. Alex is so like she just goes with the wind. Like she does not have like a full like idea of anything. Like she's not very. She's the opposite of standing on business. I'll say
Yeah.
because the only thing she stand on business about is I'm gonna meddle. What I'm gonna do is meddle. Other than that, there's
And she
no like
definitely did that.
she's jumping from like this person, this person, this person by anything. The slightest thing. If she see them, oh, they blink twice at that person, suspect. Like
Like.
you don't have to do all that. You don't have to do all that. And it's just like the decision that she make, the way that she move. She has no good comebacks. Okay, she's just out there. She's like, oh, I just don't understand somebody whose whole life is risk management, and she constantly put herself in danger for no reason, over and over and over and over again. I'm just like, risk management, risk management. What happened to that? What happened to that? My whole brain just operates on that. You only operate on
It
risk
doesn't.
management if somebody drop a
It
glass cup.
doesn't.
You not operating
Exactly.
on risk management because you're literally walking into the lion's den 50,000 times in the book, and you not thinking twice about it. Everybody's like, be careful, Alice. You're like, okay, cool. And then you don't be careful at all. You're not even trying to be careful. You just walking in, no plan. Don't think about how you gonna talk about to nobody. Just walk in and just do it. And it's just like, whatever happens happens. You didn't even plan nothing. You don't plan anything, and
Nothing.
that's why I'm just like,
Nothing.
girl,
Nothing.
give us
Not a damn
nothing.
thing. She didn't plan anything. She walked right on in, and she didn't have an initial plan, not a plan B, not a plan
Right.
C, not an escape route.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Into
She was like,
unfamiliar
oh,
territory.
literally.
People that you know that y'all literally have beef with, like historical, like deep rooted beef. Like we getting the killing folks, and you just walked in like, I want to see.
I'm Alex.
Uh,
She was like,
who you wanted to see? Tegan. I want to see Tegan Wesley, the main one.
she was
Huh?
like, oh,
You
I didn't
think
think to have a plan as to why I'm here.
Like,
Oh, I didn't
that's
think
the
to.
basics. Like, you could just,
I didn't change my outfit. I'm still in my sweaty workout clothes.
girl, you stank. Like, what are you
you're a joke? If it wasn't for Dylan coming from there and saving her,
Right.
she would have been
Right.
toast. She'd have been
Toast.
toast at the first third of the book.
Literally, Tegan would have got them fingers to sparkling and burnt her,
Uh-huh.
but lit her behind up. She would have lit her up.
Dylan was her fairy godmother.
He was.
And it was.
He was.
Even though
Yeah.
Her fairy warlock. He was like saving her at every chance he got.
every which way.
He did.
How you feel about it, Alex? Yeah.
I thought she was one of the stupidest main characters that I've read. It's like, again, I don't hate Alex, but I think she's just like an idiot. Um,
Same.
she doesn't operate with any like common sense,
Self
and that
awareness.
isn't even always a problem. That's not even always a problem that I have with me. Like I like some like high strung main characters that like give this type of energy. Like I see where the author was kind of going with her characterization. Like there are characters that I like that give the um I don't think about things as much as maybe I should, and I'm going in head first. But those characters that I like that are like that also take some sort of precaution. They also are understanding of what they're getting themselves into, even if they're doing it.
That's how I feel
And
about
it might be
Zaylee.
annoying. Yes,
Zaylee was a perfect example of somebody who runs into stuff and don't think it through, but she was quick on her feet.
yes, yeah.
She
Um,
learned as she moved.
Yeah, and used it. This girl ain't
mhm.
used nothing. She didn't learn nothing, didn't use nothing.
um, and I was just like, it was. She just seemed like she forgot everything as soon as it came to her. Like she would never operate with like knowledge of things. She would always operate I have to get my off of
By any
I
means.
have to yeah, and
But
going like doing it by any stupid means. Like you're just doing stuff. She's just walking around doing stuff.
just reckless. Like
Reckless.
how you
Again,
find
she
out?
left the knowledge, huh?
Like how you found out they have people in here using magic and actually murdering people with magic, and you just walking up anywhere, and you don't necessarily know everybody who has magic, and you just walking up
Exactly.
everywhere like I'm Alex.
Not only do they have
Can
magic
I
and you
speak
find
to
out that they have magic, but then you find out that you have magic and you know that you're the least prepared with your magic and you walking into this magical realm with the knowledge that everybody around you or the people around you with magic and you know that you're the novice,
exactly? You know this,
And
untrained,
but
ain't practicing for real.
in
exactly.
practice, no control. Which brings me to my point, Ian, as soon as you finish.
Okay. Also, I don't I don't appreciate the whole well, maybe that's another point. Maybe that's another point. I think she is very again very stupid. She keeps operating under like again assumptions of things that are not presented to her as well. Like
Yeah.
operating under the assumption of like people being murderers. It's like, yes, there's a murder on the loose, but also you think that it allows you to act any kind of way with anyone.
Right.
You should be more cautious with people. She's walking around making enemies with everyone, harassing widows, like,
Harassing everybody.
and 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 falling in love with this NYPD cop that you never had romantic chemistry with in the first place.
Please.
Ever.
Please. We gonna get him later. Don't get into it right now. We'll get on
Okay,
him
all right,
later.
you can go see.
Okay. So at first, I really didn't have anything to say about Alex because I must have forgotten all the times I yelled at her while I was listening. She wasn't
Hmm.
awful, but like y'all said, she never retained anything. Y'all know how it's like I'm rubber, you glue, everything you say bounce off me, stick to you. She was the rubber. You understand? I was the glue. So I'm listening,
Literally.
right? And like one thing that really, 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 really annoyed me
Hmm.
was whenever we realized that they could hear their thoughts. And Alex never took adequate time to practice how to
Block it.
stop her voice from being heard from everybody
Yes.
They
else.
like, girl, you're
She sat
screaming.
there You're
She's like,
screaming.
I can't
She's
hear myself
going
speaking out here.
in. She's going in and out of these situations where she thinks she's being inconspicuous. Everybody around her is telling her that her thoughts are screaming from the mountaintops, and she does not stop to practice enough. She practices
Once.
eventually, but not sufficient enough to make sure that she doesn't practice on the people that she has
Exactly.
around her, Lidia, Camilla, Minka. She doesn't practice with any of those people to where she can see whether or not she's turning it on and off. She's in the lion's den with Tegan, with Dylan, because she don't really know him
With
at
strong
really. With
people.
Exactly.
with people who
Exactly.
can really affect you, and you're out here thinking the worst of them, and they hear you. Not only can they hear you, everybody
Everybody can
else in
hear
the
Everyone
house
else
you.
can
hears
hear
She's sitting there
you.
you.
like, okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jab her with the left hand, and then I'm gonna uppercut her with the right. And they like,
And so
like
right.
idiot.
Because you done mapped
Like
it out. The only thing that you mapped out, we heard it. So
literally.
and so then what it's not only it's not it's not only that we know that that they could read their thoughts and that they constantly hear her. We constantly hear her say, "Oh, they can hear my thoughts.
And then they're like,
Oh, they can
yeah,
read my thoughts."
yes, we can hear
And I'm
you.
like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
oh, you mean okay? So we find it out in chapter 8. Then you have it back again in chapter 12. Okay, now in chapter 14, close to 12, you do it again, and it keeps happening.
It's
You
like,
don't ever
Exactly.
remember that
girl,
people
it's
can
not
hear your voice.
cute. It's
I
not
just
even funny no more. It's actually
You ask
frustrating.
and
It's
I think
people how.
infuriating.
and I
You
think it
ask
was
people
one more
how.
thing. I think it was one more thing that kept coming up, and she was like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "We literally said it multiple times already. This is not new." And the way that it was written, she was like, "What? I never knew." We heard it not once
Really?
before, at least twice before. I don't remember what it was, but I was just like, this is already established. And I was sitting in my room because, I was listening and I was doing my little sketches. And I'm like, I had to stop my sketches. Like, am I going crazy?
No, not
I
you.
No,
already
baby.
this.
No. Oh wait, wait,
That
wait. Let me
was
see.
frustrating.
I think I have one highlighted. Maybe that's what you're talking about.
And
Let
we're
me go back to my
supposed to,
notes.
why are you looking for that? I'm gonna say this, and we're supposed to believe that Alex is like this top dollar risk management manager.
Like people want her. People
That
calling
people
her.
calling
Want her.
her and she don't even have to apply to the jobs, and they want her so bad. You know what? Low key, the lady who came in and was giving Alex a hard time is probably the first person that held Alex accountable
Who?
in her job. The one she quit
Oh,
because of.
probably.
She probably was the
Uh-huh.
first person to come in there and hold Alex accountable for the little mishaps that she probably over and over and over
Mhm. Over and
misread
Yeah.
or
over.
overlook or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you cannot tell me this girl who's talking about my whole brain just operates off of risk management and then never used it once in the book personally
Exactly.
ever.
Yeah, your risk management is sheer dumb luck. You're not
Yeah.
managing
It's
the risk.
pure luck.
You're putting yourself in risk and you're being
You're
managed by the
going
universe.
literally you're going out your way to put
It's the
yourself
biggest
there.
her being a risk management like specialist. It's the biggest scam in NYC.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
She's lying.
Yeah.
It's the biggest scam.
I found maybe what you're talking about because I highlighted it. I was like,
Please
this
tell
can't be
me.
real. So
Please.
they had talked in depth about how magic has a smell, right?
Yes,
That's
that's
it.
it.
That's it. That's it.
Because
Because
I was like,
hold on. That is it. Okay. Oh, listen. Because literally every time she talked about magic being, oh my god, I'm so glad she said that. Every time she talked
oh my
about magic
god.
being used like something, she's like, it's like I feel electricity. I smell
Sea salt.
what is it? Water, sea
Yeah.
salt.
Yeah. And then on page at least the way it's from on my phone, on page 329 of 487 pages. We at the end. Talk about some. Uh, Camila rolls her eyes. Yeah, there is kind of. Someone has recently practiced magic. You can smell it on them. And then she says in her mind, magic has a smell? Alex almost
I
laughed at the idea.
It's,
that
okay,
baffled
because
me. That
earlier,
baffled me.
I'm about to break something. Earlier, because whenever she had found Pepper, what's her name? Paprika. Whenever she
Uh-huh.
found her in her house, she was like, oh, magic has been done
It
because I
smells like
smell such
I
and such, and I
smell
can
it.
feel the electricity.
She said she felt the
And then at
electricity
the
and it
end,
smelled.
uh-huh.
She said she smelled salt.
Yes.
yeah. So then at the end when she said that, oh my god, I didn't know that. I said, I stopped everything.
No,
I said, I
literally.
know
Same.
this.
Same.
No, literally, I did too. That right there when she brought it up when they were explaining to her like, oh, it takes the form of wherever the environment is. Say
Mm-hmm.
if you're in the woods, it might smell like the woods or the forest or whatever they said, trees or something like that. They said, or in the
Mm-hmm.
mountains or something like that. And they said if you in the beach environment, you probably will smell like sea salt.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got the nerve to say, a smell.
And then honestly would be one thing
Like, are
it
you
would be one thing
stupid?
if she didn't already connect it.
She
It would
had
be one
been
thing if she didn't already
connected
connect
it.
it. She had connected it multiple times
I was gonna say,
already.
I feel like
So for
she
her to be
connected
Mm-hmm.
like,
it when her tires blew out. I feel like she said something like she
Yes,
smelled it then, like
yeah,
she
she
smelled
said
sea
she
she
smelled
salt
did.
it.
or
Yeah.
salt water, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Hello? It's
and if
Like,
it's laughable.
like, don't piss me off.
She had pissed
it's
me
like,
off at
are we
that point.
hold on. Are we let's okay. Are we going through the assumption that she's been getting her memory taken away? That'd be the only
No, you're giving too
outlandish.
much.
No.
You're giving too
Yeah.
much.
And you know what? I had that idea, but I said, I'm no. Again, I'm giving this too much. Like, no, this is not.
No,
No.
I just think they didn't connect it. They forgot what they wrote.
Baby,
Memory
I'm
too.
so glad
Her
you
memory
said
is
that.
too loud.
Her memory way too loud.
Her thoughts are way
I
too
got
loud for.
hot.
No, literally, I was like, what do you mean? Do it have a
Yeah,
smell? It has a smell. That's so
girl,
silly. And why is that
I
the thing? It's the end of the book. Why is that the thing that's so baffling to you? That it
Exactly.
has a smell. Not that it exists. You took that it exists way better than you took it had a smell. And you already knew
while
it had a
smelling
smell.
it the whole time.
Why you
Excuse
smelling
me,
sea salt inside people's house?
stupid,
Ew.
but you've connected
Child.
it.
So it's not like everybody
Yeah.
hated Alex.
It's
She
just
really
all
She's just
stuff like
really
frustrated.
that.
frustrated me.
Because she just didn't make no
Yeah,
sense.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
I tried to give her she just ain't make no sense. I tried to give her more, but she just didn't make no sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on to the next person.
Uh,
Cause I can sit here talking
Okay.
about Alex being stupid all day.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next person, the final person we're gonna move on to is Cha Cha Lidia. How do we feel about Lydia?
mm, I don't remember.
I,
Like she was cool. I like that she was the one people that stood on on her 10
Ten
toes.
toes
yeah,
down.
she did.
Ten
I like
toes
I
down.
like Lydia for the most part. I only had one problem with Lydia. And that was I don't understand why it was so hard to come up with some type of alibi.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I
you
mean, come on
could
now.
so you could
I mean, come
get off a house
She
arrest.
said, "I'm letting God handle
But
that."
because she knew she had an idiot of a niece that came in here
She
that was
said,
feeling like she had abandoned the family, so she had to take on the
literally,
responsibility of getting
um,
her aunt off.
the way that Alex acted, she probably thought Alex was going to end up getting herself convicted for this crime. She was like, "I'm good. I'm gonna be
I'm
out of
off.
jail. I won't be going to
She said,
jail."
I'm getting off regardless. I am getting off
oh my
regardless.
gosh. But I appreciate I feel like Lydia is the person in the family who keeps the history and I like those people.
Mm-hmm.
uh
Yeah.
in the family. I like people, um, you know, all she do, she look at her herbal books. She make people feel good. She might get mad a little time, but everything she was mad about
It was
was justified.
valid.
It was justified. I wish she had a power that wasn't so obvious, especially inside of spaces. I mean, hers was less
Yeah.
obvious than Tegan's,
Right.
but uh, but that's it. I do also like people who hold history. I like people who, you know, they not all into all the drama. It's like, baby, I don't like you. Don't come up in here.
Period.
Period.
hmm
That's it. Let's move
And
on.
I mean what I said.
And I feel that.
But she could have come up with an alibi, and she could have had somebody else come in and help her with an alibi. And honestly, ain't nobody checking for Jack like that. If Jack found out, I mean, like you could take a little piece of his memory away. He's not that
Well,
But
compelling
how
of a
would she use
to
the
where it would have made a
alibi
big difference.
if he found out? What would
I'm
be the
just saying,
alibi? I'm
like if
saying,
something happened in his life,
oh, mm-hmm.
and it's like I get that maybe it was a little hard because I feel like maybe other people in the council, whoever else are in the council, would have like helped her with it, but Tegan probably wouldn't have agreed to like uh affirm
Mm-hmm.
her
yeah,
alibi.
because
But
she went on the chopping block, so she wouldn't have cared.
Right.
yeah, but I feel like if enough people said that this thing was happening, except for Tegan, maybe I feel like they probably would have listened.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
All she had to do was
Um,
ask. She's on the council.
yeah, she's on the council, so like,
I don't know.
yeah,
I just felt like
it was
that was
kind of
a weak
yeah.
reason. Like y'all ain't even try. She didn't even try. Like I said, she said, "God don't do it.
Didn't.
It won't get."
That's what Alex was like.
She
You're
could
not
not.
gonna say nothing.
Right. She literally could not be
I
bothered.
keep
She's like,
taking
house arrest. Whatever. Like
Sure,
okay.
let me get out these
arrested.
knitting needles. Let me get out.
Then she said, "This house needs to be put in order, anyways." All right, house. I could stay on house order for a couple weeks. House arrest for a couple weeks. Whatever.
Baby, when she went into the chokey the first night, Alex was like, "You're not gonna say nothing," and Lydia was like,
And she said hold it for
"Girl,
the
why?"
weekend. She stayed in there for the
She
weekend.
did.
It
She
came out. I was
did.
like, oof, that was uncomfortable.
Yeah, Lydia had been through
How
the
you know she lived a life? Yeah, exactly. That's how you know
She
she
been
lived a
from the
life.
trenches, baby.
She probably tricked that little cell out. She probably had everything she needed up in there.
Shoot, she probably has been in jail a couple of times for it, especially if she was dating somebody like Randy.
child.
Like, let's be serious. Brandy is bottom of the
A
Er,
barrel.
joke.
and
A
Lydia
joke.
did go through a bird phase, admittedly.
Say it again. Oh, okay.
It's
So she
alright. She
did
in
go through a
college, you
bird
know.
phase. Yeah. Um, but again, none of that justified what that man brought to her family.
Right. No.
No. Yeah, he
No.
was dead
And
wrong.
the fact that Lydia still feels guilty about it, and that's also part of the reason why she didn't like fight it as much because she still felt
Guilty.
guilty about the whole thing.
Yeah.
But we got to let that hurt go
Gotta let her go because he
because
let
You
it
got
go.
to.
Stephanie,
You got
because
to.
Stephanie should have left that man too.
That was on him. That wasn't on
Stephanie, you
you.
gave Stephanie an opportunity to lead that man, and she went back.
Sure did. Sure did. Now she all mad and sad because the man ain't love her for real. But guess what? You knew that. You
Mm-hmm.
knew that because look how fast he dropped you for Lydia. Look how
And
fast
how
he dropped
he
you. And
kept
you okay with being number two?
And
She
kept.
gotta be.
and he kept coming back to Lydia, kept obsessing over her.
He kept coming back and trying to come back or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like Randy, I know we're supposed to be talking about Lydia right now, right? But still, it's connected.
Yeah, yeah.
Randy
Connected.
is insane. And first of all, if I'm ever dating someone and they show me that they practice magic, I will never do you wrong. And even if we break up,
Like,
we're friends.
uh,
You cheated on me?
I
ain't
mean,
no
to the
problem.
end.
Ain't no
So,
problem over here.
and you know what? You cheated on me. I must have did something to deserve it. Because
That
You're
was
not
my
That's
about
fault,
to.
really bad.
OG.
You're not enchanting
Not,
me. I'm talking about when I'm talking to them. Now, when I get back to my
Yeah.
homegirls,
yeah.
you dirt dobbler you. But when I'm in front of you, what did I do to make you cheat on me? Cause you're not about to enchant me. I'm an idiot. And then for her to not even be the one who did him wrong, and it was him,
Exactly.
he did her wrong, and then they broke
Exactly.
up, and then went back and did her more wrong when they broke up and got her auntie killed.
Are you kidding me?
And she's not supposed to do nothing about it. And now you paranoid your whole life, but you still want to get back to her. You're insane.
Also, the way them kids, mostly Camilla and Alex, was looking at her crazy when she was telling that story, talking about some, yeah, you were so wrong. You
No, she
should have.
wasn't. No, she
No, she
wasn't.
wasn't wrong.
Was she two wrongs to make a right? Sure, but
Exactly.
let me tell you something. If Nene ain't something, Nene is for revenge.
Okay.
Every K drama I watch gotta have a little
What did
revenge in it.
he
Okay,
did? What he said,
literally. Is that it?
yeah. So you said, so you're right.
Till you do right by me, everything you touch will die. Whatever Celie said. That was
That's
Lydia.
Hold
what
on.
she was doing.
The Celification of Lydia. Okay? Because
Acidification.
because that's exactly what she did to her. And that's exactly what
Like,
happened to him. Because okay,
uh-huh.
you couldn't have a baby. You killed my auntie for no reason, because you did wrong. Because you did wrong.
You got her killed.
And you got her killed. And
And
was
it, and
going to
it
get
had the
me
nerve.
killed. It was going
Exactly.
to be me.
And it had the nerve to keep
It
coming
was
back,
supposed to be
asking
her.
me for favors and potions and things.
She should have
Go
Yeah,
to
put them
she
hell.
berries
actually
in
didn't
that
do
tea.
enough.
Go to hell. She
She should
should
have
have.
been exactly. She should have been the one. She
Because
should have been
when
the
she told
one.
that story, I was like, and so then it ends with you put the berries in there, right? Like,
So you did,
you
Right.
didn't
did
She
it,
too
right?
She's too good of a woman.
She
She
too
too good of a
good. She too
woman.
good. I don't have no problem with nobody who got a little temper as long as it's justified.
Yeah,
It
you?
gotta
it's
be
definitely
because people who like typically people who say like I have a temper like on a like a passerby basis, like they be like, I suppose like sometimes I
That's
get
about.
mad or whatever. Those people,
Not you saying it like that.
I just be getting mad sometimes, but a lot of those people are justified. Now, some of those people, it typically in my experience, I cannot speak for everyone, but in my experience, it be the ones who be like, I don't have no temper, I don't get mad at nobody. Them be the ones that be going crazy for no reason.
Yeah.
But the ones who be like, yeah, I do be getting like, I feel like Lydia is definitely Taurus coded.
She
I
is.
feel like she
I
is
feel that. I
because she
feel
just
that.
be minding her
I
business
agree.
and people be messing with her.
Exactly.
And
I
now you
agree.
mad. Now
And
I
she be
got
like,
temper.
right? She be like, go on now. Y'all want it.
You don't
She
want
she
Bitch had to
it.
give it to
Now
him.
everybody in
she
She
town.
make her
had to give it to him.
decoction, she cook her food, and she
Now,
go,
Exactly. She's
now she blacking
earthy.
out.
It's literally.
She is.
She don't be doing nothing to nobody. Like, okay. She did something to Stephanie. Okay, everybody not perfect. Okay, but that was in college. Was she wrong?
like literally.
Yes. She was wrong for what she did to Stephanie. Well, she wasn't even wrong for what she. Were they friends?
They were.
They
They were
were
friend.
they were sorority sisters.
They were in the
Friendly.
same. Yeah, they were sorority sisters.
Oh,
Yeah,
girl.
they
Okay,
weren't good
it wasn't
booties.
right, but it wasn't necessarily wrong.
She gave Stephanie opportunity to leave that man in the dust.
And they were already broken up at the point
Yeah, they were
of
broken
them.
up.
Yeah,
She
they were
just
already
didn't.
broken up.
But she did say
And
she
it
would
was
flirt with him.
yeah, the
Yeah,
thing
she
was it
did.
was inconsiderate what she was doing. It
Yeah.
wasn't like hard line wrong, but it was
Right.
inconsiderate.
Right.
But Stephanie took him back, but kept being mad at Lydia.
Crazy. See, and that's where Stephanie lost me.
Exactly,
Be mad at
exactly,
both of them.
exactly.
Like you was grown. You was
Like,
grown. And you are grown at this point. For you to still be mad at Lydia and not Randy, and now you're like, he cheated on me again.
yeah, yeah, that's
That's
about
what he
right.
do. It sounds like Randy. Sounds like him to me. Like, what you mean? Oh, no
Like,
child.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just
Lydia
feel like
apologist.
Lydia. I just feel like she was justified. I just feel like she was justified,
She absolutely was.
and she should have ended Randy's
I
life
agree.
for real.
Mm-hmm.
She could have.
Um, what was you all? Let's move on to favorite scene. Let's move on to favorite scene. What was your favorite scene of the book? I'll go first.
I'll say.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, you go first. No, you go first.
You sure? Okay. So my favorite scene is hard to choose for lack thereof. But I think my favorite scene is between two scenes, and they
Okay.
both dealing with the same person. Oh, dealing with Dylan. They're both
Period.
dealing
Dylan,
with
mine
Dylan.
too. Mine too.
Exactly.
So when she
So true.
first met Dylan, I was like, yes,
Yes.
you, sir, go to the front. I was like, yeah. He sounds very handsome.
Mm-hmm.
He seems very caring, charming, rich. You know, everything that a girl would like. Tall, dark, and handsome.
And yeah,
You know. And
rich.
and like, he just seemed like a good person. And, typically people who are in the position that he's in would not act the way that he acts. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
did like Dylan a lot. And so when we first met him, and she just like she felt like this electricity between them, and he was just so caring. He was just like, I know you. I
Mm-hmm.
remember you. You remember me.
Remember
You was
me?
my girl. You was my queen. And she's like, and you were my king. I was like,
Oh, I forgot. I forgot that he was like, "Yes, you're my queen."
I would have been like, I wouldn't know what
Mhm.
he was talking about. I sure am.
Yep. So Liz.
Me.
So Liz.
And so that scene, I really liked. Let's see. I really like all of the scenes that I liked had something to do with Dylan. Other than that, I
Yeah,
was
Dylan, I
very
agree.
indifferent or frustrated. So,
same.
Yeah.
let's
I
see.
think Dylan was a character that they should have spent a little bit more time with.
Definitely, like 100%. When what was the other scene I was talking about? Oh, when she was at the party and it was like dancing, and they was
Mhm.
just like it was just like they just have this like
Connection.
yeah, like I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm feeling him. I'm feeling him. I like him.
Mhm.
When
Hmm.
he saves her from the tidal wave, I
Yes.
was like, it took care of her after the fact, and he really never blew
Hmm.
up on her when he really had a reason to. In
Exactly.
my opinion, he had a reason to, because she was just always being stupid and blatantly using him.
Yeah,
So, and
and
not even,
disrespectful.
Blatantly. Yeah.
yeah, disrespectful.
And not even like inconspicuously. He
Right.
hears that she's doing
Right, and
her
he hears her
thoughts.
thoughts. He sees her actions. He hears it from secondhand from everybody else, and he's not going off on her. He's still letting her in, like, because he feels this electricity with her too. And it's just like you have, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's
This,
just he had a reason to go
yeah.
off on her, in my opinion, but he didn't, and he was a little more patient and understanding. So, because she
Hmm.
wasn't wrong. She was just stupid in the way she was moving. She wasn't wrong in the way she was
Yeah.
moving. So it's just like I don't know.
She
I
was
like
in the
that.
way. Hmm. Sorry. She was moving in the way that just like caused havoc in everyone's like lives. Like she didn't care who she upended to like for her own purpose. Whose life she upended for her own purpose.
Right.
Mhm. Mhm. It didn't care about who she was stepping on
Yeah.
No
or
regard.
meddling with.
But yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like
I'll say
go ahead.
finish, and I'll just go after you.
I was just gonna say again, like everything everything that every time Dylan was in the book, I was like, yep,
Mm.
yep. And I do wish they explored him
Mhm.
more.
Absolutely. You hit on both of the scenes that I was going to say. Well, I was honestly was just going to say that first one. I had forgotten about the dance scene, but I did really like the dance scene because I liked how, like, even though she was skeptical of him, her actual like feelings, their actual like the undeniable connection was showing through to where she thought that he was enchanting her, and he couldn't enchant her. So it's almost like she
Right.
was enchanting herself because she
Mhm.
liked him. She couldn't stop her feelings at the
Mm-hmm.
so I like that part, but I really did like his introduction and how like mysterious he was, but also how kind he seemed,
Yeah.
and like how like happy he was to see her, and like how dreamy it was, and like I just had that the image of like them as kids, like just like
Mm-hmm.
the
Yes.
garden with the flowers and the water in the background, and him
Mm-hmm.
sneaking off to go see her.
Right.
It seems so
Like I
sweet.
thought that was yeah, it
Right.
was. It was super cute, very, very childlike, very green, very, very youthful, very innocent, very like genuine. And
Mm-hmm.
she didn't have any memories of it, so I don't know if it's just like the kids, you're moved from their life, and so some things you just lose, or if maybe her mom did a little bit of work on her, like you're not gonna remember
Mhm.
that you could do this,
But more
girl.
on that, you remember? Do y'all remember in the book she was saying like she didn't remember this at all at first, and
Yeah,
at the
like her
end of the
using her
book,
power.
she said that she remembered it.
She did.
No, it
Yes.
was coming. Yeah, she said that it was coming to her, and that's more of what makes me feel like her memory was taken away, because the times they talked about like the memory thing,
Mm-hmm.
to where like what's her name, y'all,
Pepper.
Pepper.
Pepper. So when Pepper got her memory taken away from her, they were like, you just gotta like little nudges, and eventually certain things would like trickle back in. And I feel like that's what's happening to her, but maybe not. But
Could
it
be.
didn't seem like she had gotten all her memories back. I think it was just more so because Dylan had said it, and then she was getting those familiar feelings whenever she was with him, and so she was starting to remember
Yeah.
some of it. But yeah, my favorite scenes were with Dylan. Dylan was my favorite character. Now I do have a little bit of a different perspective on, or different. I had a different experience with that scene of him rescuing her from
Oh,
the water,
why?
because that's whenever I went to tell you, like, I feel like there's gonna be a cartoon reveal, because just like she was skeptical of him, I just felt like because he seemed so mysterious and he was placed so like conveniently
Mm-hmm.
there,
Mhm.
and she just liked him, and he was supposed to be the opposite of Jack. I thought she was gonna make Jack the I mean she did make Jack the clear cut romantic interest, but I thought that it was gonna be like Jack was gonna be like the second string underdog, like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
she really liked Dylan, but he was in front of her the whole time, and she
Mm-hmm.
didn't
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. I
Mhm.
thought they was gonna do that with Jack, and I thought that they was gonna make her like Dylan and get close to Dylan, and he was gonna be the one.
Okay.
And so, like, whenever he came to rescue her from the water, and how like, where did you come from? How did you know she was out here? Almost like it was planned, and he like
They
pick her
did
up, and there was
plan.
a scene. I mean, it was planned, but I'm saying like he was the one who put
Did
her
it?
there,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and like in the way like he like picked her up, and it was like just a one on one, and like the conversation there just kind of felt like the ball was gonna drop
Mm-hmm.
in
Mhm.
front of her face, and like she was vulnerable, she was with him, and she was skeptical, and he was just like, and I just wasn't trusting of how the dialogue was right there,
I can see that.
is
Mhm.
because I was thinking that she was gonna make Dylan the one
Yeah, I can
and
see
Yeah.
make
that. I
him,
just feel like that was way too
especially because
obvious.
at the end,
Yeah.
I feel like it was way too obvious, but I would have preferred that than what actually happened.
Yeah, I feel like
Like that
she
was the
suffered from
obvious
like
take that I would have accepted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I get it. Like I don't necessarily hate a predictable like villain, if it makes
If it's
sense
done
to the
well,
story, or
yeah.
if the gotcha, yeah, if the gotcha, it's like, oh man.
It really
But
was you.
I was waiting, and but if you were like how I felt during the time when I went to tell you that, I was just like, I was okay with it, but also I was just like, oh, I feel like I'm waiting on a cartoon like reveal. That's how I felt. They
Uh-huh.
didn't do that, and I'm glad that they didn't do it for him. Also, I would prefer to be something like that, something with stakes, somebody that we knew,
Right.
kinda, somebody who had development, not the person who it actually was, because we didn't really know her.
Right.
Who cares?
Literally, who cares?
Literally.
Disgusting.
I was like,
Like,
Yeah.
ew.
Literally. I was literally reading like,
Like, oh
okay.
brother, please get off your you were deranged from the start. Nobody in your family likes you.
right.
Like I
Like
was
they're
very
trying so hard
scared.
to be nice.
Yeah.
What's your favorite scene,
Are
you?
you okay? You finished the scene?
Hmm.
Okay. Y'all said you said my favorite scene to me. Um, the introduction of Dylan and most scenes with Dylan.
That's
Cause I
it.
like Dylan.
I did too. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna lie. I
He
would have
just
Dylan
he
was
hold
just
very
it.
he just
likable.
seemed he just seemed real.
He
Like
just
he just
had
seemed like
it.
obviously
Yeah.
obviously this is who we should be pursuing.
R- Okay, he gives love interest.
Right.
He
He
did.
gives
And I was
well-rounded
scared.
character.
And I
Hmm.
also liked or like I wanted to go the way of like I saw how she was trying to make it like ambiguous whether he was good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I really wanted it to go the way of like she thought he was bad, but she, eventually realized that, oh, it's like switched. Like, kind of like, it's not that much of a switch on the cliche because people have done it at this point a lot too. It's now almost a cliche, but just like the person that you thought you had to watch in the beginning, but you were on the wrong path, and now it's like, oh, okay, this person actually cares about me.
Right.
Let me like go to them because this person actually cares about me. But that's not what it ended up happening. I knew it wasn't going to end up happening that
Me
way
either.
because Alex is stupid.
When she
Um,
said they have a smell, I said,
I said, wrap this up.
literally wrap this up.
like, yeah, yeah. My favorite scenes were again most scenes except for that one scene. I mean, except for him revealing that he um was the one that blew her tires up.
Cause what sense did that make?
Yeah,
That literally made
Exactly,
no
yeah.
sense. It didn't even make sense for the
That's the bone I have
character.
to pick. No, it
exactly.
didn't. Run her into a tree, huh?
He said, "Oh, because
Throw her
I
on the
know
road.
exactly the way to blow the tire, so I knew where it was gonna
It
end up."
it was
What?
it was definitely one of those things where I was reading it and I was like, this don't even make sense in the plot in like the story. Like I get it's canon because the author wrote it, but it don't seem it just
It
didn't
don't seem
feel like
real.
Yeah,
It seemed like, in my
feel very
opinion,
off.
I felt like she was doing that because she knew that she wanted this first book to end with her with Jack. And so
hmm
she had to give a reason why it wasn't ending
yes,
with Dylan, because I feel like anybody who read the book would feel like it made more sense for her to be with Dylan, or at least be
yes,
interested in taking things further with Dylan, or even talking to him or being friends with him. Something. She wanted to cut Dylan off, and that was the author's reason to cut Dylan off.
hmm
Because otherwise it didn't make sense for her to be like, I'm not talking to Dylan, because he didn't
Yeah.
do nothing the whole, like, bad the
exactly,
whole book.
exactly. He had no reasons to want to like actually harm her,
Right. Like, that
and he
literally
showed
made
no
no sense.
desire.
Right.
He showed no desire in doing any of that, and it was really just like, oh, I did this and I regretted it, and I, you know, I'm so sorry, blah blah blah. It just gave. I just needed to put something in here to make people not like Dylan as much.
Yeah. And to
Hmm.
round off that story, that plot point of who did that to her car. I mean, but if
Yeah,
she didn't say
I mean,
nothing, I
it
would have
could
just
have
assumed it
very
was a
well been
sister.
Bran.
That's what I'm
It could have very well been her.
saying.
It would have made sense.
It would have made sense.
Or
Exactly.
Tegan. It would have made
It would
sense.
have made sense for sure. Whatever. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, y'all, we've been recording a minute, so let's really move on
How long
Okay.
we have been?
because we only on the third
Oh,
thing. You ready?
mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's move on to least favorite scenes. Least favorite
Okay.
scenes. I'll say I think my least favorite scene was the big reveal of who the monster was. I just thought that
But,
was so stupid. Like it was so anticlimactic to me. I was like,
yeah.
It was. It was. Oh goodness.
I literally was like, just finish it, bro. Just,
Yeah. I'm just.
who will come in and save the day? Because I was just like, I really was expecting Dylan to pop in and save the day, and that would have made it way better. But
Yes.
Minka,
Uh, Let me
who's
tell you
scared
something.
of Gran,
I was still waiting on Dylan to walk out the back with the Cheshire grin.
is like give
I
us
was thinking that she was gonna
something.
make him. I still was thinking she
Yeah.
was
No.
gonna make
Yeah.
Dylan a part of it.
Yeah.
I said, "This it."
I would have rathered that.
Yeah. It was like she came so strong in with Dylan, but made him so lukewarm.
Yeah.
Um. At the towards the end.
Yeah, she did. Imagine like the way she revealed, like,
Literally,
I'm
like
not
she literally
Jenna,
took it
I'm
off.
Bren. Oh, I'm not Bren, I'm Dylan.
I'm not Dylan. I'm Lydia.
That would have been that. I actually would have gave it 5 stars if it did
No,
that.
5, 6 stars.
I'm at Lydia. I'm your mama.
If it was Lydia.
No, I low key was waiting on the mama to
I
pop
was me
up.
too.
Like,
Yes.
give us
Because it
something.
instantly felt like mom didn't actually die.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think her mama did
Yeah.
either. Maybe that's in the second book because they're gonna be exploring
Maybe.
mama.
Mhm.
Somebody will tell me, but I'm just like, I'm like, it was just so anticlimactic. I really didn't care. Didn't care about Stephanie's character, so it was just kind of like whatever. If something happened to her or not, sorry. Don't want it to happen to you, but if it did, and then
Sorry about your look.
Bren
Cared.
and honestly, when Jenna was introduced, I was like, it's Jenna. It's Jenna. I feel like it was Jenna because I just feel like it was kind of late in the book and they introduced this mistress and I did not think that it was Bryn as Jenna, but I thought the killer was Jenna. And I was like, it doesn't make
Mhm.
sense. But I was like, at this point, she has gone back to Dylan and back to Tegan like 16 times. And she's gone it was too hard on Stephanie and Eddie and it amounted to nothing. I couldn't see
Yeah.
it being them. And we already know it wasn't Lydia. And we did know it wasn't Tegan. At least it wasn't Tegan acting.
Mhm.
So I was just kind of like, who else would it be? Now, I will say, when they brought up the plot point of Celeste, I was like, maybe. I was like, I could see it being
Yeah.
Celeste. But I just felt like Black Arthur, only black character, I would hope she wouldn't do
Mhm.
that.
That would have been crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
That was the
now
only
why
thing
would she
too.
even? That's my bone to pick. Why would she even have this girl point out so hard at the very end, the only black girl that's confirmed in the book in time?
Right.
Like that part was just like, it better not be Celeste.
Yeah. Same.
Now it could have been Celeste because see, with you saying Jenna was introduced so far into the book.
Mm-hmm.
I go off of like that formula that people like the majority of mystery writers do, like in the exposition in the exposition, the villain or the person who did it is already revealed in there
Right.
or has
Right.
already been introduced. So I'm like, Jenna can't be the one. It has to be somebody else. Even though Jenna was like, it gave like I was in the same line of thinking that you was like, okay, this person, this person, this person. I'm like, but no, it can't be her because it needs to be somebody who I've already seen like in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But and I
Right.
just thought that Bren would have been too on the nose.
I
I feel
agree.
like Pepper's dad would have been like too on the nose, property, property, money, money. I mean, but that was Bren's motivation. I
Yeah,
mean, it was more family
It was
lineage
yeah. That's what
uh
her motivation was for
motivation.
real.
And like, okay, yeah, it could have been the wife, but I feel like, well, no, she was definitely revealed in the beginning. Like, I could see that,
Hmm.
but
But they spent too much
I don't
time
know.
on the wife. I felt
yeah,
like they spent way too much
Yeah,
time on
yeah,
her for her to be
I
it.
agree. And so I didn't feel like it was her, and that's why it's like, okay, Jenna, but no, but then
And then I
yes,
also thought it was Jenna because of how they didn't finish that character off. Like Jenna came in crying whatever about her man, and then you offer Jenna a job. Jenna comes to the job. She works for a couple hours. She goes to get donuts. She comes back. Oh, well, Jenna come back, and then we don't hear from Jenna anymore.
that's
I'm
true.
not even
I'm
gonna lie
like,
to you.
y'all
I ain't
spent too much
even,
time on Jenna in the chapter
I
that she was
yeah,
introduced
I
for
literally
y'all
forgot
to
about her
just
as soon as she popped up.
right.
I didn't even
Also,
remember that Jenna was even like, I didn't even know that she even worked at the place.
Well, like I
yeah,
said, y'all
I
know
know,
I
yeah,
read
I
the
Yes,
know,
book in the same day, so all in one
yeah.
day.
I also, I've really, I'm really glad they also didn't. She didn't go with. I mean, I'm not happy with the way she ended up, anyways. But I am glad she didn't go with the Stephanie what's the killer thing, because I another gripe about Alex is I hated the way she harassed this this woman.
Yeah,
This whole like she harassed multiple people,
she did.
but how how egregious is it to go up to the woman that your aunt allegedly murdered
Husband.
and be like, "Yeah, wasn't it true that you were mad about your husband?"
The way
And
they
then
answered too many questions, I'm
and
like, girl,
then
if you don't
first
get
night, wasn't you were you mad about your husband first night? Second time, go to her house and it's like, yeah, but blah blah blah, and like that was she wasn't really pressing her, but you went to her house. Stop going to this lady house. Stop bothering her. And then to again third time openly accuse her of murder. This is a grieving widow. It don't matter that she was already separated from that man. He wasn't a good man.
is it enough I'm getting cheated on? I gotta deal with this
isn't it enough?
stranger woman in my face
Isn't
telling me
it
I
enough?
killed him.
Isn't it
I
enough?
just
Your
really,
your aunt stopped me from having kids. I mean, it was a blessing in disguise, I guess.
It really was.
it just I didn't want her justified in the harassing the widow
Yeah, I felt like
multiple
she was doing
Yeah,
times.
too much.
that
I
was a little
mean,
much.
the
Yeah,
her I didn't think she harassed. I didn't think she really did too much at the house. But
Yeah, she
from
didn't do too much, but it was
Stephanie's
already
perspective, I could see her being like, "Why in he double hawk are you at my house?"
yeah.
She
And she
different for
double hung.
she different for letting her in me. Cause to
in her
me,
end, honestly.
oh, first of all, half the town crazy because I'd have been like, "Get out my face, little girl. I don't know you. Why are you
Exactly.
asking me such personal questions?" If I was Tegan, Tegan acted accordingly. I don't care what nobody say. Tegan acted
Exactly.
accordingly. Loki, even
Yeah,
Bryn acted accordingly. Like I just feel
yeah.
like, especially because they're already like a prominent family, and Alex is just coming there, no like sugarcoat, no like personality, like personableness, whatever the word should be. She didn't have anything that like she wasn't charming or anything. She was just like, so what about the land that you hi, I'm Alex. What about that land that you was in a fight
Exactly.
with? Excuse
Had a
me?
dispute over.
It's like didn't like people who
Hi.
had
How
middle names
are
and shit.
you?
My
You
name
know,
is
my name is Alex. My name is Tegan. Why are you here? Oh, you are you dating my son? Like what's going on? Don't come up here talking about something that happened 8 years ago. Or
like
however old it was. I don't know. But still.
because honestly, you're a peon in this situation.
We don't know
You're a
you.
peon.
And you're a stranger to a small town. We don't know you.
You're right. You're easily taken care of, baby. If I felt like I needed to.
And your name is
You're
Daniels. It
you're
don't even say Sabinski, so we didn't even know
You're barking up the wrong tree.
I
I'm gonna give you
surely
what
would
you're
have
looking
acted the
for.
same. I would have been like, I may not have been so blunt as Tegan, but I would have been like, listen here, little girl. You
Yeah.
got questions? Go ask
Should
Jack.
have talked to me. Should have talked to me
Shut up
before.
talking to me before I escort you out of my house. Like, you're in my house questioning me about a murder that I didn't commit.
Like what?
It's
That your aunt
crazy.
was arrested for.
That your aunt was
Who we
arrested for.
hate.
She would be like, so is it true? I'm like,
We hate all of you.
I'd have been like, is it true that you in my business and I don't know you? Get out of my house. Actually, Dylan, you about to get out of
Yeah,
my house too if you don't get her out of
true.
my house. Because why is she up in here questioning me? She has no authority. She's a risk management officer. She's not a security. She's not a police officer. She's not an investigative reporter. She's not even Pepper. Why is she up in here asking me questions when I'm not even a suspect? Get her out of my face. So I get it. I get it.
Now. Yeah, I thought it was real wild the way that she just kept stepping to Tegan, like Tegan not about it.
Exactly.
You
She
know
really
Tegan
spared
about
her.
it.
She did.
She really did. She's extra spared her. She
And
was
it
it
was
was
probably all because of
actually
Dylan.
It was.
maybe.
Had to be.
And also eyes were on them as much
Yeah.
as it was on, you know. And then like speaking of like least favorite scenes, every scene with Jack,
Yes.
like
Yes.
every scene with
Yes.
Jack,
Come on,
every
girl.
scene,
Give us
especially when
nothing.
Jack comes. First of all, he literally was he was what is even underneath a flat character.
He was a
Was underneath the
prick
flat character.
when we first met him.
And then he was very cold. He was very like blunt. He had no compassion. There was no switch. That he had no dynamics between the people that he talked to. It was all cut and dry, all the same. On top of that, he kept coming to like he didn't even seem like I hardly even felt like he liked her like that in the first one. She probably
Yeah.
enchanted him.
Maybe.
So it's like he didn't even want to be there. I don't know, but
Yeah.
that's how he was acting once
Yeah.
you know the story got started. And on top of that, every time he kept seeing like Alex places, he would be like, "Oh, here she go! Like you
Now
don't
that
even
was
like
funny.
this woman."
He
Me
don't
like
like
yeah, because I would
her.
have been the same
It got
way
I
because
get
it
it's
it.
got
like
so
you're
hilarious
too
at the
far into
end.
the investigation. Because it's like here you, of course you're here. But honestly, like this is a man that y'all were like on enough dates for y'all to feel like y'all was on the ways of being in a relationship,
They didn't
and
even
that's
go
how
on
he
no
talking to you.
dates. They never went on a date.
Oh, so
There was nothing. There
Right.
was
Right.
nothing.
Right.
There was nothing. They never went on a date. They had a date planned. That he came and arrested her auntie, and she said, "Well, he has to know that's off. He's gonna arrest my auntie."
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he's supposed to
Like, oh my
not
god,
arrest
what?
your auntie because it's your auntie. I met you yesterday. I don't know
Yesterday.
you. Your auntie could very well be a serial killer. I don't know
Literally.
that. And I don't know you. You could be one too. So yes, the date
right,
is
it could
off.
actually be you. He
Like
could be taking a fall for you.
Literally.
literally.
But also like why I don't understand why she even continued to like him after their like first two interactions because he came up in her auntie's shop and he immediately was like, isn't this just snake
Disrespectful.
oil?
Disrespectful.
Isn't it like I don't none of this stuff really works, does it? Like y'all don't think this stuff works. Is
He's like,
this
be serious. Like y'all just playing up in here, right? This is our business. That was so. That would have turned me off so bad. Like that would have
it's
gave me
so
the ick.
bad.
And I'm
Yeah,
not even a
super
believer. She
ick.
wasn't even a true believer yet. But it's just
Exactly.
like, don't come in here being disrespectful. Like you don't
Exactly.
know
Yeah,
us.
super
You just
ick.
moved into the town. Most of the town people are believers in this shop and this holistic medicine. So why would you? And I'm telling you, I'm working here for the summer, and this is my family business. Why would you come in here talking about some? Oh, my mother would never take none of this. Did his mom have cancer? She
I
would
think
have.
so.
He should have got his mama some of that holistic medicine.
I think so.
Nobody ever told him, no, you can't take medicine. She even said that we don't disencourage people from taking
Mm-hmm.
the medicine that the doctors give
Exactly.
them. So why would he be going so hard
Right.
But
about
you use it in
what we're doing?
conjunction.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm
Like
just
you just being a butt for no
confused.
reason.
He was a butthole.
Like
I
you just
didn't
be
like
He
him.
was at
First,
all.
that right
no
there, I would have
reason.
been done. I would have been done.
Yeah. Cause I was turned off and I was just reading it
I was
from
turned
my
off,
perspective.
and he never came
Yeah,
back
he
I
was
for
not.
said,
me.
ew.
Yeah, it was not
Never.
appealing.
And he
It was not
never
appealing after
tried.
that.
He sure didn't. He didn't care, and had visible disgust. Now, the only time that I feel like he was really, really justified in him being like, "Why are you here?" was when he pulled up to Edwin's office. Because how did I just
That
tell
was
you
funny. That was
30
so funny.
minutes
I
ago?
cackled.
Like, get out. Leave it
Like
alone.
you're actually hurting our investigation because I told you 30. You told me 30 minutes ago that you was thinking the things that you was thinking about Edwin, and you wanted me to go investigate. I said, okay, I'm gonna go talk to him. I'm gonna go check it out. Why, when I pulled up
No,
30 minutes later, you already there?
you here?
I'd have been like, you're messing. You're at this point, you're about to go to
Well,
jail.
she would have gotten arrested.
Literally,
Yeah.
Yeah, she
She
should
would
have
have
been
literally.
in
gotten arrested.
jail. Because how come
And
every
Definitely.
time you're there?
she was like, you like, how could you think that I was a dangerous? I'm not a killer.
But you at every murder scene. Every murder scene.
You, at this
You
point, you're covering up your own crimes.
Right.
At this point, you're covering it
I
up.
found
You
you
did
in
it.
Peppa's house with a knife in your hand. A butcher knife. You literally sit up in there with a Michael Myers mask on. And you expect me to think that you didn't do nothing to Pepper? Then what's the next scene she was at? Okay, then we
uh
found you at the he came and got you from the side of the road. Talking
huh.
about somebody trying to kill you. That's a cover up. That's a cover up. You trying to
I'm
Carly
crying.
Russell it like that's a cover
Yikes.
up. You're sitting here acting like something happened when it was you. And then
The whole time.
Edwin.
Yeah, he definitely got
And
arrested,
then
baby.
in between the
She.
crime scenes, her just running into him, bombarding him, being like, "You need to look at this person. You need to look at this person. You need to look at this person. Tell me you're gonna look at these people."
And then when I finally cave and go look at the people, you're already there looking at them. You know what? That's crazy. And then another thing, for her to keep calling Jack, like when did Jack ever save her from anything? Never. The only person who
Never,
actually saved her was Dylan. Why wouldn't you have
Dylan.
called Dylan? I would have called Dylan because he's actually,
Dylan.
first of all, I know he has powers, and he
Exactly.
saved me before. So like,
Right.
why? I don't know. Whatever. This just don't make no sense to me.
It didn't. It didn't. And he's like,
It makes sense.
this book had extreme propaganda.
Yeah.
And I'm not into it, and it was real heavy, and I'm just like, it was just weird that the people that they were trying to convince us that were like morally unbiased with cops.
You right. Yeah. Yeah. I see you. I see you. I know
But
what you're
he was
doing.
the a-hole from the very
From
beginning.
the jump.
Like,
From the jump.
Was
And
biased from the jump.
and the two men that you're supposed to be like using as like moral compasses and they did it are Jack, who was a butthole when we first met him, and honestly, not even you didn't even describe him like he was fine. Like it's giving throwaway. It was giving throwaway love interest.
yes,
So that's why I'm
yes,
surprised that you
Was
still brought him
definitely.
to the end of the book. He didn't even seem like he was going to last past her getting him arresting her aunt. And then the
yeah,
other moral judgment police officer character is her dad, who we know held her from her family. So it's kind of like
yeah. And then Camilla,
who seems
is,
cold and
is mad,
butthole-ish.
is mad for what reason?
And was
She don't like
constantly accusing
magic.
her mom.
And was so mean to her mama for no reason.
Constantly making her
Exactly.
mom prove her innocence or tries to make her mom prove her
Didn't
Yeah,
innocence
give
the
she
whole
didn't
time.
give us a good reason for us to feel like we we understood why Camilla was mad. So it was just like
Right.
all
That's what
the
I'm
police characters. It's like y'all are writing it as if they're like the moral judgment, and they're like, oh, they're so smart and they're so compassionate and they're this and that, but none of them are giving that. Not one of them.
yeah. There's no actual reasoning.
So
You're
it's
just
just kind of
saying
like, okay. Do y'all have anything else about Lee's favorite scene?
Um, really, no, just agree. The scenes with Jack and also the scenes with Camilla, I didn't really like her.
Yeah, I didn't dislike Camilla.
Mm,
I just felt like she would have been that cousin. I'd be like, okay, girl.
right.
Okay. Favorite. Let's move on to favorite character. I think it may have already been revealed, but
Hmm.
my favorite character was Dylan.
Hmm.
Period.
Same.
Yes,
So
yes,
Same.
consensus, we all love Dylan.
yes,
All
yes.
right,
Favorite
all
character.
right. That's what it should have been. That's what it should have been. I really don't have much to say. Well, I mean, I said a lot about Dylan already. Just he's handsome, he's nice, he's
Hmm.
kind, he is proactive, he's
Yes.
rich, helpful, a savior.
Hmm.
Um, he seems
That's what
He
he
was there from the
says.
emotional.
beginning.
Right. He seems emotional. He seems like emotionally tied. He just seems like a good person. And
He's a good man,
he's
Hmm.
a good man, but like literally, not in
yeah,
that context.
that's true. That's true.
Right.
He
Right.
actually seems like a good person. Even in the
Yeah.
end, I do feel like they should try to like with him at the end being like, so it's understood, right? Like when he was trying to basically say like, you're not gonna try to bring my mom into this, and she's like, there, you know, y'all remember that part at the
Mhm.
end. I thought that was again her trying to put something bad in there about Dylan because I also felt like that was
Yeah.
uncharacteristic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then tried to like sweep it up because at the very end, we got out the car and he was like, you know, I'm sorry. This is not owe you my personal apology. This is that.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe he's trying to save face hers for mom, but maybe I'm trying to give the author too much.
I think I read it as like yeah, I feel like maybe she's still trying to give like a maybe he is, maybe he isn't type thing. And it's like it's too like you
We're
keep
over it.
doing this. Yeah, it's too wishy-washy.
Yeah.
But also it's like I kind of chose to look at it from the lens of like is this does it look a little shady? Yeah, but at the same time, he didn't kill nobody.
It's like, is it really bad? No, it's just the way that he
Yeah,
said it. It's the way they were
yeah,
saying
yeah,
Man, and
it.
they're all also business people. Like they are.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want their names wrapped up in this type of thing. So yeah, it was a little distasteful for him to
yeah,
do that, and it wasn't necessarily a part of the character we that was really established. Um, so it was kind of off-putting, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense when it's like, okay, my mom is also in the car. She's the head of the company right now. She's the
Right.
head of whatever the business is right now. So him being the person who's going to take it on afterwards, he has to be like, okay, I'm the person who's inheriting this. I have to show that I can handle or I can step up and make sure that our
Yeah.
names are cleared.
yeah,
So I can see that, but the way it was presented was a little off-putting.
Especially
yeah,
because he had been so like, Alex, I like you. Alex, can you come with me here? Alex, let's go on a date. Alex, you can come over anytime. Da 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 da. The whole book, even when Alex was being stupid. So it's kind of like
hmm,
now that Alex is actually justified, she's finally, after the whole book of not being justified, in my opinion, she's finally really justified because it was your sister who did it. Now you want to have him having like he's
serious,
the most moral person in the book, I mean in the car, being like, okay, so we can all agree that there's no reason for you to be bringing them in there, right, Alex? Like it
yeah,
feel like it was
yeah,
misplaced. I could see him being like
Yeah,
that more. I think it would make more sense if they did that before the reveal of Bryn being the killer. But after Bryn being the
yeah,
killer, it literally made zero sense to his character. So I was kind of
yeah,
like, which is
yeah.
why I feel
And
like she
can
tried to
we hold
backtrack
on?
when she was had him apologizing.
Yeah, and one more thing about that scene with Bren, her reveal, and that little fight that they had.
Uh huh.
So we're just going like she got real, real mad. and was like invested Bren and was like, oh, her power is way better than mine. What? Oh my gosh. It's almost like she's her mother's child. Someone who's never practiced magic before this past week and a half.
Literally.
Like
I'm
that
She's
part
sorry.
so
was like
powerful. This is so raw
so
power. But y'all didn't give raw power. She did not have
Mhm.
raw power.
Your
She
power.
could
she
end
knocked
up
a couple of
being
books off the shelf.
right. She made a little swirls in a bucket. Like she gives. She could be very powerful. She
Right.
catching on
Yeah.
quickly, but not quickly enough. She can't even hide her thoughts yet. And you
Thoughts.
expect me to believe that she outpowered you in a bullet fight?
In a
Excuse me?
bullet fight. And I really feel like they should have, just like everything else we are saying, like little drops, little background. I really feel like she should have had a training arc.
I agree.
And
Not
in
She
her
one,
should
not
have.
training arc, and it didn't have to be one chapter. It could have been, okay, every so often
ongoing.
she goes and talks to, it would have been good if she was going on and talking to Mika and Mika was helping her with things. Like actually, not like, oh, remember I healed your hand. Oh, come over here and let me put this water in the bucket.
Right.
Like actual things. And then like she moved up to Lidia and Lydia showed her a couple of like cool tricks.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
you would see her be like accidentally overpowered in some things. And
Mhm.
then show like, yeah, she had a little lack of control, like maybe she was intending to do something and didn't work, and then at the end it's like, oh yeah, her power like finally comes out, or she does something to accuracy and then her power comes out at the end with her battle with Bran. And yeah, we can have another book because no, she has not mastered it,
Mm-hmm.
but we
Mm-hmm.
see a peek of it, but it
Right.
makes sense because we saw it in her training.
Right. But they didn't do
It's
that.
like that little part right there where it's just like, he's powerful.
It's like, Bring, you've been
Give me a
practicing your
break.
whole life. I
Whole
also
life.
think it would have been. I think it would have been beneficial if they like had her meet other magicals.
Yes.
Hmm. Knowing.
So like I feel like that could have been helpful with her arc as well because they could have told her about her
Yeah.
mom. They could have introduced her mom
Yeah.
through other people who experienced her mom when she was younger or whatever. Other
Yeah.
magicals who
Hmm.
experienced her mom when she was
Hmm.
younger and
Especially.
help her like build her confidence, build her like
Mhm.
scope of and see what other people can do as well. Like I think that would have been cool for a first book. I think that would have been
Yeah.
cool.
Hmm. Really, really, I agree. Especially in such a small town where everybody knows everybody. So it's like everybody would have had an opportunity to talk about her mom or like, give their experience of what they knew about her.
It's
It
because
would
she's
have been
new. She's
like, it
new in
wouldn't
the
even been hard.
town.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a small
And
town,
especially when she
people will be
first got
interested.
there. Right. And when she first got there, Randy was like, oh, you spaghetti, whatever. Was it Randy or was it somebody
Sabinsky.
else?
Randy did say that.
Sabinsky.
A lot of people said
I could
that.
tell because you have blue eyes or something like that. So, I mean, like, it wasn't like she was able to hide it or people weren't noticing it. That would have made it so easy for people to just, like, give give their information. Because you know how people in a small town like to talk, baby.
Exactly.
Or
They
people
be like,
who
oh,
know things just like
mama.
to talk. If they feel like they have a connection with you or they feel like they know you, like
Mhm.
without having to, like they feel like they already know your background, especially if somebody feel like they know your
Yeah.
mama, they're gonna talk to you as if they like they your aunt or like a
Right.
older cousin.
Give you advice, help you out. Like I just feel like she didn't
That
utilize
could have
the
helped a
town. It's a
lot.
small
Yeah.
town. They all know who her mama is. And they talk about how
Right.
powerful she was.
Yeah.
They all know who she is. So it's like
Exactly.
y'all could
Yeah.
have introduced that better and it could have been a good segue into the second book because we already kind of introduced to how powerful she is and you don't have to give every story or every detail about her mom but like just be like, oh, your mom used to do this or this is that and your mom is so powerful and this is that and have it be impactful in the first book in some sort of way because right now her just talking about her mom was powerful and passing by didn't really have any significance here because Alex again did not show that she was powerful yet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
Mhm.
whatever. Okay, so if we haven't already, because we didn't lost track, if we haven't
Yes.
already talked about our least favorite characters, I will say my least favorite character. I guess it would have to be Jack. I did not care for him, so I think Jack was my least favorite character out of everybody. I think he was the most stupid, besides Alex.
Yeah, I was leaning Jack too because as annoying Brent as Bryn was, I wasn't as annoyed with her because I mean
She
she
was in the
had her
book
own
twice.
motivations and it kind of made sense. Yeah, and she was hardly there. So like Bryn, sure, she was like annoying, but Jack was way more annoying. And I almost felt like that for Pepper, but she was such a non-factor after a while it just didn't matter
Yeah,
anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. I think my least favorite characters were like probably either Jack or Alex, honestly.
I'm telling you.
I could feel that. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm convincing myself that Alex is one of my least favorite characters
Right?
talking about it.
Yikes. So I don't really have much to say
That's
about it.
good.
We
I
we
mean,
didn't
she
already
wasn't
did our
awful, but
deep dive about Alex and Jack, so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
well, y'all know how we feel about them at this point. I
right,
didn't
y'all know
care for
it's
Jack,
listing at this point.
and Alex is just didn't make no sense. Okay, well we can move on then. To the last thing, let's give this book a rating. What is our rating of this book? I'm gonna give it. I'll give it a 2.5.
I'll give it a. Yeah, you got your rating. I'll give it. I
Um,
don't necessarily want to give it a 3. I might give it a 2.75.
Okay.
More so, I'll give it that little extra because I was engaged
I was about to give
in
it
the book.
2.8, so maybe I'll change mine to 2.8.
Okay.
And you
So I was
2.75.
engaged.
yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm
Well,
gonna go with 2.75.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
so
got you.
overall, we gave this book a 2.76.
It is what it is.
It is
It is what it
what it
is.
is. Okay, well, that was A Spell for Trouble by Esme Addison. I hope you all enjoyed this installment of the book of the month, August book of the month.
Mhm.
And we will catch y'all in the next one. See y'all in October. This next September. All right.
September. Thanks.
Peace.
Bye.